This fight, it will go down to the last man. So let's end it. You have something that I want. One thing that makes this all right. I want Michonne.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead, The Governor.
The Governor. Man, so guys, we actually did a video on this a while back, like in 2018, and it was kind of early talks talking to the actor David Morrissey, where he would, he said it'd be cool if he could return, and it wasn't in depth of what he would return as, like maybe a spin-off, flashbacks, or whatever. But he actually recently was giving an interview with Express, express.co.uk, and he was talking about how he'd definitely love to come back to do an origin story of the Governor, based off of the novels from Robert Kirkman and Bonasinga. Now, those are The Rise of the Governor, The Road to Woodbury, and The Fall of the Governor. Now, we actually have these novels. I think we started maybe a couple chapters and we kind of got out of it. But from what I read, it was actually really good.
So I got 7 chapters in, and life happens. But from what I read, and I actually do need to pick it back up because it was awesome. I was totally into it. I loved it. It wasn't the fact that, it was a boring book. It was an amazing book, amazing read. I just got away from it.
Yeah, so it's basically the story of the Governor who, his actual real name is Brian Blake, but he takes over the name Philip after his brother dies, and he takes over his personality. Don't want to dig too deep into that because I don't want to give too much of a backstory. But from the interview, David Morrissey says they're doing movies, and in some of them they might be doing origin stories. I would love it if they were doing mine. I haven't got any inside information. I love doing the show and love doing the part. If they wanted me back, I would. Morrissey believes the novels would make great movies. He says if they wanted to, they could go back to the before Woodbury existed and how the Governor became who he is. I think that's a brilliant story, and that's all there. And it's the books. I hope they do that. It's in the books, and I hope they do that. So I think it would be sick.
It would be, because that first book, The
Rise.
Yeah, something about, from the point of when the apocalypse starts, seeing a character and how they evolve over time, it's just amazing to me. That's, that's one of the things I loved about, this show. And they had the Governor would be perfect for that. The Governor and Negan. But this is a video on the Governor, and the Governor would be perfect.
The Governor would be awesome. David Morrissey was an amazing actor who portrayed the Governor. Now, in the show, guys, they dumbed down, or I wouldn't say dumbed down. They turned the volume down on the Governor because in the comics, oh my God, he was brutal. But there was also another character
ruthless
that was brutal to him in the comics, and oh my God, insane what happened in the comics to what was portrayed in the show. Now, in the show, he is brutal, but in the comics, this dude was lethal. Sick.
Yeah.
And not sick the good way, like, oh, that's sick? No. Sick
and twisted,
disgusting, twisted.
I mean, what he did to Michonne in
sociopath
in the source material is.
But what Michonne also did to him.
Well, that was rightfully.
That was what? Yeah, dude. But
she should have done more.
Exactly. But still, dude, it was brutal. But going back to see Brian Blake before he became Philip would be amazing. Just the origin from, basically, I've kind of mentioned before, it's not, I would say spoiler, but not too big of a spoiler, where his brother does die and he assumes his name, but just the personality. If you go read kind of the synopsis of The Rise of the Governor, you'll kind of get a synopsis of who he was.
And he has his daughter with him, too.
He has his daughter with him as well.
So you get to see it now. I haven't read that, and I actually am looking forward to reading that, what happens to his daughter, because they don't tell you. All they tell you is, I mean, obviously she got bit.
Yeah, but I think it's different in the books than it was in the show.
It'd be interesting to find out how.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you still have some of the same characters that he, palled around with in Woodbury in the books, and be like in the second and third book. But the rise of the governor is what I think that they should do. Maybe if they don't do movies, they should maybe do a couple like miniseries or something.
Dude,
I think that'd be amazing.
I'd love to see a movie with him.
A movie too, yeah.
Yeah.
An AMC movie. It doesn't have to be like a theatrical movie. They can do an
No.
AMC movie or like a Netflix type thing. But I think that would be so good.
Yes.
I think it would be good. It'd be amazing.
You do a movie and you can do the sadistic psychopath things that happened in the comic book. You can't do some of the things because that would lead up into the show. But you can kind of
do a lot of stuff before that.
Give this character his due and show what he's all about.
He was one of our favorite villains in the comics as well.
Yeah.
Huge, guys.
In my opinion, he put Negan to child's play.
With the brutality.
Yeah.
Negan was brutal, but he had limits and he had rules. The governor had no rules, man. If you broke a rule, I mean, Negan punished you if you broke a rule as well. Yeah. But
Negan wasn't afraid to kill you.
Negan would have killed you.
Yeah.
But the governor, dude. You don't want to mess up with the governor.
Yeah,
I mean,
to me, I think Negan was much lower.
Much lower in brutality. But I mean, I think it would work. David Morrissey would definitely love to come back, and they have a lot of material from those novels to build a story. They can do like a 10-episode miniseries or a 6-episode miniseries on just the first novel, or a movie. They can do that. Then take the second novel, Road to Woodbury, like watching his journey to find Woodbury. Was it already there? Was it abandoned and then he took it over, or did he take it over?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't get that in the comics.
Man, this is making me want to read the books.
Oh, I want to get into this, dude. I think it's going to be so good. And then maybe they could, from the fall of the governor, maybe they can go, depending on where that novel goes, that would lead up to Rick. How far in the novel can you go to where you'd have to cut it off?
Look, you can even have flashbacks and flash forwards and possibly include some of our Walking Dead characters as a flash forward.
You could, yeah.
Be amazing.
That could be great. Yeah, so we are super pumped. AMC, I definitely think you should contact David Morrissey and develop a Governor miniseries based off these novels. What do you guys think? Are you guys a big fan of the Governor? Were you in the show, and were you in the comics for you comic book readers? Let us know. We'd love to talk about it. But make sure you guys feel free to subscribe, smash the like button, show your support. We truly appreciate it. Stay tuned for more videos from us. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out.